A very good afternoon to you. I hope the day is treating you well despite the rain. It's time for Business Insight. And my name is Nina Shaban. Now, for the first time today, we're going to kick it off with an interview. Now, mobile money is the fastest method of transacting funds, and it aids many, especially those in the business community. The latest service in town is MyCash from Kenya Commercial Bank, and that will be allowing transactions of up to 500,000 Kenyan shillings. How will it work? We're yet to find out. In studio with me is head of DFS and mobile payment. I hope the title is correct, yes?
Yes,
Mr. Edwin Dichu, thank you so much for joining us on Every TV. Let's just get right into it. Give us an analysis of the current state of mobile banking.
Okay. Thank you first, Nina, for having me on Ebru TV. I think it's my first time.
Welcome.
It's also my first time on TV, so. Oh. But I think there's two things to talk about here. There's mobile money, which is your M-Pesa and Airtel Money, Orange Money, and there is mobile banking. Now, these two things started right at the same time, 7-10 years ago. But of course, mobile money took off more than mobile banking. But somewhere these two things met, and that's where the relationship with mobile for KCB really started being fascinating. And we started to see our customers behave really differently and continue to demand the convenience that mobile phones offers them. So we started out with allowing the customer to simply check a balance, and I think most banks were able to do that. And increasingly, we now started to integrate with mobile money and allow the customer the convenience to move value from their bank account to their mobile money account. We didn't stop there as KCB. We went ahead and said, can a customer, given that they use mobile money, also be able to open an account and access loans and savings? And I think that's what we did with the product M-Banking about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't stop there. We even went further and said, can we completely remove the bank account from the bank and put it on the phone and allow this customer immediately to access a loans and savings account? And therefore, through the partnership, the fantastic partnership we have with Safaricom, we built KCB M-Pesa. But now, today, we're here to talk about payments on mobile.
Yes, we are. And just before we talk about the payments in using your mobile phone, how trendy is it worldwide when it comes to mobile banking? How well are you doing?
It's a very good question. And I think in Africa, we're a bit isolated because the way customers are behaving in terms of accessing financial services isn't the same as developed markets like the US. We're more akin or likely towards the east side of the world, the China, the Asia, Southeast Asia, where customers are increasingly using a mobile phone to access financial services. So much so that they're doing it outside the bank through different platforms. Same thing as here in Kenya, where people are accepting more mobile money than even being able to access a bank account. But because of the existence of this platform, we're seeing more customers now be able to get more sophisticated services, like getting a loan or doing a savings on top of being able to use mobile money.
So there is room for growth?
Yes, there's absolute room for growth.
Now, KCB has introduced the mobile solution in MyCash. Maybe now let's now delve into why you're here, the MyCash mobile solution from KCB.
Yes. So our customers, we've been accessing, we have now over 80% of our customers we've onboarded through a mobile phone. That's almost 10 million customers. Now that's more customers than we've ever had in 125 years. I'm glad you're a customer. And Nina, you wouldn't believe that 90% of the loans we process are on a mobile phone. So we're seeing customers, wanting and demanding this convenience, and the behavior is changing. So over and above just being able to give them loans and savings, we said, can we also allow them to make a payment? Because today, Nina, if you want to make a payment, you either have to go to an ATM, withdraw cash, then go to Naivas or Tuskys and make a payment if you're doing your shopping. Or if you want to use M-Pesa, you'll push that money, you'll go withdraw money, look for an M-Pesa agent, then go to the Naivas or Tuskys, and then deposit the money. Alternatively, for those customers who are served with mobile banking, they would send money, they would use mobile banking to send money from their account to M-Pesa. So we said, this is a very clunky experience for our customers. If our customer needs to make a payment or make money move, can they do it directly from their mobile phone? And that's where with our partnerships with Safaricom, through the M-Pesa platform, we're able to deliver the only service, the only superior service in this market that allows a customer to make a payment directly to a pay bill or till number or directly to any bank account in the country.
Now, before we move to our last two questions, I'd just like to bring our viewers up to speed. The youngster right here is Mr. Ndichu, the head of DFAs and mobile payments. What we're talking about today is the fact that mobile money is the fastest method of transacting funds, and it aids many, especially those in the business community now. The latest service from KCB, Kenya Commercial Bank, is the MyCash. That is very unique in its own way because they are allowing, or rather KCB is offering services of you're being able to pay your bills through your phone. Now, the next question I want to ask is, MyCash is unique, yes, as compared to other mobile banking platforms.
Yes.
Why?
That's
in detail.
That's a great question.
Yes.
I believe for KCB, MyCash is revolutionary because it works with many platforms altogether. I think for the first time in Kenya, a customer can be able to pay, whether an individual or business, pay anyone or get paid by anyone. What do I mean by that, Nina? I mean that an individual or a business can go into our mobile banking service, access MyCash services, and be able to pay in real time another mobile money account or another bank account in real time and up to 500,000 shillings at a time. And the other way...
$500,000.
Yes. And the other way is we're saying, hang on, what about if I'm a business, I'm a youth in business? How do I accept a payment instantly and fast? So we're saying MyCash services also allows us to give this youth or business a till number or QR code, and they're able to accept a payment instantly and directly into their bank account through the MyCash service.
Which is very impressive. Now that you've mentioned youth in business, maybe you can give us a highlight on how KCB as a bank has really supported the youth who are in business.
That's a great question, and through our KCB Foundation, we continue to tackle this question on how do we get more youth to access jobs, and we've got a brilliant program, Tujiajiri program,
yes.
And we've got Tujiajiri program training youth on vocational jobs, so that they're able to employ themselves, and then once they're able to build a business for themselves, we're linking them up to the Lion's Den, where we are attracting investors to be able to look at these businesses and see how they've grown and take them to the next level. So over and above being able to give them this, we realize that one of the pain points around doing business is payments. Now, we've become very good at doing loans and savings on mobile and making a customer access their bank account easily and simply. But we've not done anything yet on payments. So this year we launched the MyCash services to allow individuals or businesses or entrepreneurs be able to accept a payment very quickly through a QR code or a till number, but also be able to have our customers do more than just check balance inquiry.
Now, Mr. Ndeshu, as the head of DFS and mobile payments, I'm sure there have been challenges. It's not all gold and silver, and it's not very easy. Now, what challenges do banks face when it comes to mobile banking?
That's a great question, and I think many different banks tackle it differently, but mostly it's usually about the customer, awareness of the customer. Did you know you can access your bank account on a mobile phone? There are also other concerns about, if I access my account so easily, then I'm not able to manage my funds in a better way. So what we would like to speak to customers and tell them, you can still access mobile banking, but you can still manage your finances in a more enhanced way. For instance, you can open a savings account and not just have a current account where you actually do have all your money go in and you do all your transactions. So in terms of awareness and the customer being able to access a mobile banking PIN and know what they can do on mobile banking other than simply check balance or borrow a loan, these I think are the challenges. But continuously we believe with services like MyCash, the daily relevance for the customer will help the customer use mobile banking more. So for instance, what do I mean? Instead of waiting for your salary and then check balance and then go withdraw, so you do it maybe once a month or twice a month. With MyCash, you're able to make little payments. Your hair salon, you can pay your hair salon every week. I can pay my barber every week. I can do my shopping every week. So every week, becomes relevant for me to access mobile
And
banking.
it becomes easier.
Yes.
So MyCash is actually here to make our lives easier, ladies and gentlemen. And we can go as far as paying our bills up to $500,000 Kenyan shillings. And that
Yes.
was the most impressive thing with the talks on MyCash. Thank you very much, Mr. Ndichu, for gracing us with our presence. Mr. Ndichu has to go, and that's why we had to even do the interview earlier. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nice
now,
seeing you.
I want to cross over to a story on the youth. I was able to sit down with a couple of young men. The youth are the drivers of Kenya's economy. They also are, unfortunately, the ones suffering unemployment. Different associations have been set up to better the unemployment situation. One of them being the University Entrepreneurs Association, with more than 300,000 members, led by youth it's led by the youth for the youth. Business Insight was able to have a sit down with these young founders, and this is what they had to say.
My name is George Kamano. I'm a businessman and also an entrepreneur, and also I dabble in a bit of politics. Yeah.
My name is Tim Dafina. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm also involved in youth empowerment and an organization called Transform Youth Kenya. And we deal with youth in all 47 counties, mainly startup companies.
John Mushiri, Kenyatta University student, economics and finance, founder and one of the directors of University Entrepreneurs Association. University Entrepreneurs Association is on its second birthday. The scope that built up University Entrepreneurs Association is we're living in a dogma whereby for the past 50 years we've been facing the same challenges and been embracing them, whereby you come up from campus and directly go to job seeking. We thought of challenging the dogma by creating a system whereby you can be able to be self-sufficient and financially stable at the campus level. And we did our practical research and realized that at the campus level, where you're gaining ideas, you have innovative and entrepreneurial ideas in your mindset. Once you leave campus, with the pressure with outside life, most of these ideas end up in our graveyard. So we thought of denying the wealth to our graveyard and enriching our economy. We presented the ideas to one of Tim Dafina. We had a long talk about the whole concept, which they appreciated much because he's in social entrepreneurship. One time we also met with George Kamano in one of our presentation, and we discussed at length, whereby he's also in social entrepreneurship and was interested in joining hands and making this a bigger reality to our economy.
Because first things first, I'm also a social entrepreneur, and I'm also an entrepreneur. So a few years ago, we started a youth entrepreneurship program called The Shift, which I'm a co-founder. And the main thing is where we help youth turn ideas into action. And when he came with the idea about the organization, it seemed very feasible, and there was always a loophole in everything that we did. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you just can't teach someone how to do business. You have to take him through a process, yeah, whereby you have to incubate the ideas until from stage A to the last stage. So the idea was very good, and we saw using our different, we have different talents, we have different networks, different connections. So we just thought if we can just bring it into one pot, we will help the people at large.
I chair an organization that houses youth businesses. We have over 10,000 members across the country with our national office in Nairobi. We have offices in all counties. What we really do is, find beyond empowering. We offer financial advice in relation to also loans to guys who want to start up companies, So I was really interested with the organization John is running here because he also deals with the scope that I deal with, the youth.
So far, we've had different. We have reached out to Strathmore, Riara University. Last year, actually, we were with him, but it was totally different. He can tell you more about it when we went to Riara University.
Most of the graduates that we have are job seeking, and we decided how we should have a shift and see how we can empower even those who are leaving university to see how they can work on the ideas, come up with businesses, and really that is just how we got involved with each other, and it has been a journey. We've been able to go to 4 universities right now. We have a plan by mid next year we're sure to have gone through all universities. That being said, we have members in all universities. We have representatives in all universities, but we have not been able to visit. But that is what we're planning to do from now till mid next year.
Okay.
Okay, let me just talk about Transform Youth Kenya. What we source for funding from outside, and our criteria of just how choosing people, choosing candidates, in all counties. We have county representatives in all counties. So what we do is we have people coming to our offices with ideas, and then we have a committee that meets every week that goes through the ideas, and just comparing the ideas and seeing which is liable and which will pick up, looking at when we'll break even, and such statistics. So such logistics. So what the criteria that we use really isn't about age but mainly about ideas. What ideas have been presented? Is it a unique idea? Is it something that's workable? Are we able to break even in a specified threshold of time? Yeah.
At the moment, we have around 3,000 members. We have members across campuses. We have members in University of Nairobi, members in Kenyatta University, members in Daystar University, members in Kabarak, members in Egerton University in Nakuru campus. We're reaching out to more universities to increase our numbers.
For you to know you have challenges, you have to dive in. You have to swim with the sharks, basically. So one thing I'd encourage the youth is get into business, Have a proper planned out business plan, See what your competitors are doing, You can't beat them, join them. So from there, you will understand the pitfalls and learn from other people's mistakes. People tell me you need to make a mistake first for you to learn from it, but I don't think that's really feasible. If you can avoid that mistake, please avoid it at all costs. So to all entrepreneurs, if you have a business idea, don't just, at the end of the day, one person said visibility brings opportunity.
For me, I'd say the challenges we face, especially for coming from the youth, is they find such organizations as a quick money-making scheme, So most of them will have these brilliant ideas, but in their minds, they don't have the patience to, watch the business grow.
One of the things that I say have been a challenge is the youth have a mentality of once you're in, you'll get money immediately. Once you start a business today, tomorrow you're wealthy. And most of the time, that's not the case. Business needs to grow slow. And most of the mentality that they come in is once my business is out, in a few months, I'm earning money, big money. And a privilege that I've had with sitting with this man, you realize business grows slowly. And you realize the juncture that it takes to grow a business to what it is, it's time.
We have given out money. We have people who have defaulted to pay back the loans. We have, however, come up with structures to see how to, minimize the numbers of the youth that, run away with money or start up all these businesses, and then after 2 years, it's no more.
Because your clients will tell you, okay, I tried to get a product, but the cart was full. Is there a link? Is there a shortcut? And from there you learn. Yeah. The good thing about business is you learn from it, and the best way to learn is when you're inside it. Yeah. So take that risk and go for it.
On the association scope, you find that we're having only 2 people here, 2 mentors, and who also are co-founders of the association. Much of the projects that have been released have been funded by them. So you see, if we cannot be able to, they cannot be able to save 1,000 youths all at the same time. So if we can come back with more corporates believing in the scope, to be able to push the juncture, the government, the private sector, to push the scope more, we'll have more and more people coming in and getting their financial.
Firstly, being a youth, the youth need to understand that we can even hold our country at hostage because we are the largest constituency. Yeah. If you talk about changing of leadership, we are the ones who hold the key. Yeah. And that is supposed to translate into the money that we make, into the opportunities that we have. Yeah.
One of my biggest motivation is at 19 years old, I happened to be privileged to start a business. But at 20, the business was off. It had died. That was before I joined Campus.
And so I derive my passion really from my experience and what I've gone through, even setting up businesses and such. I already scraped it out of my mind to even look for a job. And the only option I believe I was left with was to, build a business.
Now you realize that one of the things that made the business go down, you're young, you're in business, and you don't know what entails doing business. And the fear of you being out of business and not be able to sustain the things you're able to sustain while you're in business is one of the fears that every young man outside here faces.
So really my motivation just really comes by seeing that someone who has a bright idea with no opportunity to raise capital, no opportunity to even get exposure in terms of who to meet and how to come up with businesses. I have seen the need to come up with such rather even partner with such organizations just to help the youth who have these ideas, who have no capital, no exposure.
So one of the most motivational factor is we'll be able to create change that the people who come after us cannot be able to see this as a fear in them, but they can see that as an opportunity to be able to bring up business and make a success out of business for themselves.
Firstly, we want to diversify in the next probably 2 years, yeah, and not just only helping the youth, but we want to reach out to people living with disability, reach out to also women, yeah, because at the end of the day, so they are also marginalized, just like the youth.
Unemployment is just not an issue in Kenya, and so even discussing with them and the committee, our long-term goal that we have not yet specified is if we can even go into countries like our neighboring countries, see whether we can partner with associations from their universities, come up with structures and systems on how to help the youth who are unemployed on that side, see if we can have interactive conversation with the youth from their side and those from our side.
What we're looking at in our future is if we're having 75% of our population being youth, and you're having no local, because you're businessmen, we're having no local market for our own products. What does that mean? We make this 75% financial stable. They'll be able to have the power and ability to purchase. Once they have power and ability to purchase, we have more local market for our products. That's to all business people around. So in our long term, we want to build more businesses, make financial freedom to our youth, and stop enriching our graveyards.
And for me, I wake up with a prayer, and I know and I tell myself there is nothing that I can't do.
And that's it. Now that brings us to the end of Business Insight. Thank you very much for keeping it at TV. My name is Nina Shaban.